Well, this is going to be a fun one today. Kind of a return appearance, sort of, with Maggie Rose, acclaimed Nashville-based singer-songwriter, joining us here for a Wayside Furniture Blend & Sons Studio C session here at the Summit FM, a room full of Summit members ready to go for this one. Maggie Rose joining us and touring behind her new fourth album titled No One Gets Out Alive. That's available now on Big Loud Records. And a big Summit Presents concert tonight, July 25th, 2024 at Musica in Akron. Maggie Rose, welcome back to the Summit FM. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. So yeah, we previously had you in for a Studio C session May 20th, 2022, but that was on location at the Night Stage inside the Akron Civic Theater. So doing a proper one here at the radio station. And good to have you here and set to go with some songs and conversation. Maggie, if you would, introduce these two on stage. Who you got up there with you tonight?
Absolutely. I have to my right from Circleville, Ohio.
Ohio.
It's true.
Yeah.
OH.
I've messed that up before in Ohio. I was like, "Och!" And the crowd just stared at me and was like,
In Columbus, too.
Yeah.
In the heart of it.
Of all places. Of all
luckily
places.
I had my Ohioan to help.
So what's his
save me.
name on guitar?
Yeah, we didn't even get to that.
Oh, by the way?
Kyle Lewis from
Kyle.
Circleville, Ohio.
Okay.
Hi.
The least important of it all, the Ohio factor. And then to my left, from Alpharetta, Georgia, we have Miss Caitlin Connor on the keys.
All right. Well, Maggie Rose joining us here for another Wayside Furniture Blend & Son Studio C session. Let's start off with a song. What do you have for us first?
I actually have a song that I've written with these two individuals. It's called Dead Weight, and it's my way to start this afternoon with you guys. Let's take nothing forward that we don't need with us. That's what this is about.
I was a fool to think you'd break my fall. You showed your colors to me after all. I won't waste my breath trying to make you see that you couldn't handle being there for me. Oh, but you ain't never gonna be in my way. You ain't never gonna see the day you could ever make me feel afraid of your sticks and stones, your box of bones. All you are is dead weight. I catch my breath now that you're off my chest. I'm better now because you thought you were the best. I'm sipping out, I'm speeding up, I'm on the move. It's easier to get there without you. Ooh. But you ain't never gonna be in my way. You ain't never gonna see the day you could ever make me feel afraid of your sticks and stones, your box of bones. All you are is dead weight. Thank you for setting me free. Thank you for setting me free. Thank you for
Rock and roll in the morning.
Woo! Off to a hot start here today. Maggie Rose joining us for a Wayside Furniture Blind & Son Studio C session, touring behind the fourth album titled No One Gets Out Alive. That's out now on Big Loud Records. And the Summit Presents concert tonight, July 25th, 2024 at Musica in Akron. And Maggie, I've already actually seen you touring earlier this year, May 30th of this year, 2024, at the Beachland Ballroom. So I already saw you once on this tour behind this new album, but I noticed your energy and your sort of on-stage banter in between songs during that show at the Beachland. That this new album of yours, No One Gets Out of Live, you've sort of taken that as a mantra, right? I mean, that's sort of what I feel like the whole message is. Obviously, with the album title, but what do you sort of what was sort of the intent of naming that album that, and how you sort of present it on stage like you do?
I think, we all went through such a hard time with the pandemic, and it was really tough on our industry and so many industries. What we do for a living, I think I can speak for everyone on stage, it's so intrinsically tied with our identity that when touring went away and we weren't able to come see you guys out on the road, and like the audience is our litmus test for what we're writing. Is that resonating? It felt like, who are we? I was having a difficult time trying to get through that. But like so many things that have happened throughout my career, I've been dealt a couple gut punches, and the industry has broken my heart many, many times. But you can't wait for the circumstances to be completely favorable in order to make something beautiful. And that's what I wanted to do with this record. It's like, I'm going to make music before and after all those things happen. And I think life has an urgency to it. You got to go out and live it, and you got to go, in spite of what's going on, make it as good as you can.
I love that. That's a great approach to going through life in general, and also your craft, doing what you do for a living. So that completely makes sense. And, also just kind of with the material written for this album, that, I don't know, like the topic of fractured relationships comes up a lot, which, isn't necessarily a bad thing, though it's mostly a good thing. It all sort of depends, right? I mean, that's sort of, I guess, I don't know. That's sort of what I gathered from it, but also fractured relationships. It can mean good things, bad things. However, is that sort of what you were going for with that too?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of times when relationships do come to an end, it's very messy. There's gray areas. You're not always guaranteed closure. This was my way to kind of write through a lot of that and find catharsis in that. But there's also a lot of joy and gratitude in this record, and feeling proud of being able to move forward. Like the song we just played, I think there's, once that smoke has cleared, realizing that you want to carry on, and that maybe you're a little lighter for having shed some of those things.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, not necessarily even romantic relationships, but just just however that might present itself. But yeah, like you pointed out, like just kind of if you're relieving yourself of a situation that's, whether it's mutually beneficial or just something that you need to do for yourself, there is something to be said for a weight lifted off your shoulders and just kind of taking that, acknowledging and moving on with what you're doing.
But there's also a time for anger, and there's time for messiness.
That's true also. Yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot of songs that I allowed myself to embrace that fully in a way that I maybe would have softened on previous projects a little bit. I let that emotion be pointed. Our song "Fake Flowers" is a great example of that, and I think allowing for the audience to see all those things was really healing for me, because usually we go to our private corners and we try and process all those things and then reemerge fully healed and like perfect, but that's just not where I am right now. And
that doesn't happen all the time.
There's some songs where I just say, hey, this is how I'm feeling right now, and I'm trying to give you the most honest impression of where I was in that moment. And it's an invitation to allow people to wallow in those emotions with you if they need to. We don't always need to just be okay.
Yeah, that transparency and honest is refreshing, and it's real, and it's giving the listeners the full spectrum of who you are and where you're at. And I think that's very good to just kind of check in and let people know that all of those things can be felt, and that's okay. And I think that's what songwriting's all about. Maggie Rose joining us here for another Wayside Furniture, Blind & Son Studio C session for Summit members, touring behind the new album, No One Gets Out Alive. That's available now on Big Loud Records. And we're so excited for the Big Summit Presents concert tonight, July 25th, 2024 at Musica in Akron. Maggie Rose and a couple of her bandmates on stage here. Let's do another song. What do you have for us next?
I've got, we're feisty today. I've got Fake Flowers.
Love it.
I live in a mad, mad world. Nothing is quite as it seems. Smoke everywhere I turn. Nobody says what they mean to your face. It's all just fake flowers and sympathy. What you give, what you take comes around. All of the trust here is gone. Now I can see straight through all of your counterfeit charm. Don't you know it's all just fake flowers and sympathy? Don't you know what you speak comes around? I won't let you take me down. No, no. You try burning me to the ground. Don't even make sound. I don't believe anything that you say. Don't you go speaking my name. I never loved you the same. You only got yourself to blame. I won't let you take me down. No, no. You tried burning me to the ground. Lie, lie, lie. Keep my name out your mouth. Don't even make sound. I don't believe anything that you say. Hey, oh, I don't believe anything that you say. Oh, hey, keep your big flower that you say. I don't believe anything that you say. Oh, hey, keep your big flower. I don't believe anything that you say.
Maggie Rose here at the Summit FM for another Wayside Furniture Blind & Sons Studio C session with Summit members in attendance, and that new song, Fake Flowers, from the new album, No One Gets Out Alive. That's out now on Big Loud Records, and looking forward to hearing that one and more with the Big Summit Presents concert tonight, July 25th, 2024 at Musica in Akron. And yeah, that song, Fake Flowers, one of our favorites here at the Summit FM for this year, 2024 so far. And you know, I've with you being now signed to your new home at Big Loud Records out of Nashville, where you're from, I just that's kind of like a whole new start for you in a way, I suppose. And I'm wondering if you sort of feel like you have a fresh start on your end, or if there's like a renewed enthusiasm for making music, being under this new record label. Is any of that has any of that hit you with being at this new label that you've signed to?
I had the record done for quite some time, and imagine that I would just release it like I released my previous records, which has been a really great experience. And I think because of what I've gone through with the industry, I had been signed to major labels before, independent labels, and things out of my control had happened to kind of break my heart. I just was so enchanted by the idea that an organization would come along and take a project that I had fully finished and really believe in it and give it their all. And we're just getting started. I just released the album 3 months ago, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to take this further than I've taken previous projects, and with their belief, I'll see something that will make my heart a little less jaded, I guess, as it has become. But I'll make music regardless, and it's just nice to have people believe in you.
Yeah, believe in you for sure, absolutely. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, the promise of bigger, better things to come. So I can totally appreciate that. And when you got to actually recording this album in the studio, I'm impressed with your Rolodex of rock star friends. You had quite a cast of characters helping out. I mean, you got talented folks like Sadler Vaden, a guitarist, and Chad Gamble, drummer of Jason Isbell's 400 unit band, to help out, and many, many others as well.
Kyle Lewis and Caitlin Connor.
Kyle and Caitlin, of course. Well, tell me about that. I mean, you had a lot of great people, musicians up here on stage and in our world of music helping out. And from a wide variety of backgrounds and different bands that they also participate in. What was the big takeaway from having all of those people help you in recording this album and producing it?
That I have really talented friends. That's one takeaway. But also just it aided in the comfort of the making of the record. We really took our time. Sometimes in Nashville, it's been known to track 4 or 5 songs in one session. With this collaborative effort, everyone in the room has such a creative, producer-oriented mind that I feel we were all very comfortable to offer our ideas. And I feel this album came together in several different phases. The songs were written. I'll use No One Gets Out Alive as an example. I knew that might be the name of the record, but I didn't know that it was going to unfold into like this big, dramatic song. It almost was like a piano folk ballad that I had written with Natalie Hemby and Sonny Sweeney. And then I take it to a room of people who believe in me and who can play and who have ideas, and it just turns into this like James Bond epic Live and Let Die overture that almost scared me. But then I had people around me be like, this is the song you wrote. This is what we're doing. We're going for it.
You grew to embrace it after all of that.
Right. There was a fluidity to the making of the record that renewed all the songs to me.
Yeah. That sense of collaboration had to be special and inspiring and empowering for you, I'm sure, for sure.
And Ben Tanner produced the record, and he produced my last record, Have a Seat. Bobby Holland was engineering, and he's produced my record, Change the Whole Thing, and we're all really close with him. So it was a luxury, and I think a testament to just how long I've been in Nashville and how lucky I am to be adjacent to these people that I could put the dream band together and was also very friendly with each one of them.
Yeah, I love that origin story for this new record. Maggie Rose joining us for a Wayside Furniture Blind & Son Studio C session with Summit members in attendance. That new album, No One Gets Out Alive, is available now on Big Loud Records, released earlier this spring. Summit presents concert tonight, July 25th, 2024 at Musica in Akron. We have Maggie Rose here with her fellow bandmates. Let's do another song. What do you have for us next?
Yes, we're going to do a song. Sorry, there's a theme brewing here of confidence and power. But this song I wrote with Henry Brill and Chris Galbuta. And I have a podcast called Salute the Songbird, where I interview all these women in the industry, some super established, some up and coming, and I try and end every episode on a positive note because sometimes the conversations can take a negative turn. And I say, what's your favorite part about being a woman in the industry? And I would get some form of the answer of, being underestimated, because then when I just am myself, I far exceed the expectations that some people are setting for me. And that happens to all sorts of people, but that was sort of the inspiration behind this song.
Be part of the club, cause I'm already in it, and anywhere I land I'll stick it. Maybe it's a dream, but for me I live it. Keep my head high, gonna get by. You ain't gonna slow me down, so don't try. Pay me no mind, gonna fight, and I'll be sneaking up on you in no time. So please, 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 underestimate me. You got my number, so by all means judge me by my cover, cause I sure don't look like trouble. Bet against me and you're gonna lose double. Don't be surprised when you see I had these aces on my sleeve the whole time. So please, 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 underestimate me, yeah. Please, 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 underestimate me. Hey, 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 yeah. So come on, let me prove you wrong. Let me catch you slipping while I'm taking off. Going in a style, you can watch me from afar. I'll be up in orbit, you'll be wishing upon a star. I keep my head high, gonna get by. You ain't gonna hold me down, so don't try. Pay me no mind, and you're gonna find that I've been sneaking up on you this whole time. So please, 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 underestimate me, yeah. Hey, hey, yeah. Please, 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 underestimate me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please, 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 underestimate me. Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Maggie Rose live in Studio C, that new song called Underestimate Me. She's touring behind the new album No One Gets Out Alive, out now on Big Loud Records. Big Summit Presents concert happening tonight, July 25th, 2024 at Musica in Akron. We are so happy to have Maggie Rose here for a Wayside Furniture Blind & Son Studio C session with all of our members in attendance. Second time for Maggie doing Studio C, and you just sort of brought that up, and I was going to ask you about that, that you do on your website. I noticed this, that there is a link for a podcast that you have. So again, a little more background, if you would, on this podcast, what that's all about, and how long have you been doing something like that?
We have, I guess, 4 seasons, we could call it. There's upwards of 40 episodes, and it started with the pandemic. I felt like I wanted to re-engage with all the artists that I wasn't getting to see backstage like I had grown accustomed to. And I really do credit starting that podcast with me getting excited about making another record again, because I was listening to all these women's stories and diving into their music and just becoming really inspired and realizing that people I was talking to who I thought had everything going on, like Melissa Etheridge or Nancy Wilson of Heart, they have struggles too, just like the people who were just getting started that I was speaking to. So it just made me feel like I was on the right path and like I had this sisterhood of musicians that I could depend on.
Yeah,
and
depend on, lean on. They had your
learn
back,
from.
etc. Yeah, and I can imagine that was sort of getting you inspired and motivated to dive back in and get back into putting in the work of songwriting and making a new record. Who would you say was your most notable guest on your podcast, or maybe the one that you were most nervous to talk to?
Oh, that's tough. I used to cover Melissa Etheridge songs when I was 16, so it was really kind of awesome to talk to her. And we came out of the gates like hot because she had just been through a tragedy of her own. I had just lost a friend who was really close to me, and we immediately bonded about that. So I felt like that she was very generous with her time. Kathy Valentine, I was from the Go-Go's. I was intimidated to talk to her because I just read her autobiography, and I just watched the documentary that is about the Go-Go's, and I just felt like maybe I knew too much about her going into it. But everyone's been really lovely. Allison Russell was incredible.
She's a lovely human being indeed.
And so smart and eloquent and involved in so many different things. And what I've been on a bit of a hiatus while I've been getting this music out, but what's been really cool to see is that there's just no shortage of people I can talk to. Every day I feel like people are trying to point me towards someone new that I'd heard about but maybe didn't have on the list, or that I've just discovered, and they become my new favorite musician.
I love that. I think that's fantastic, and sort of helping cultivate more episodes to come.
Yes.
Another thing that I think is pretty cool is just following you on social media, because in between tour dates, you're just being seen having fun in every city that you're in, doing whatever, goofing off, being you. I love that about you.
Having a good time.
Having a good
all the
time. Having a good time the whole time. But the thing that's also very cool is that I've been seeing this pop up in your Facebook feed that Rolling Stone magazine has named your new record, No One Gets Out Alive, as, quote, one of the best albums of 2024, end quote, so far this year. And I know that music publication magazines some of them they're out there, but some of them are barely even magazines at this point. But with Rolling Stone as putting it out there as one of their favorite albums of the year so far. I don't know if you pay any attention to that kind of stuff, but that's a pretty big deal. And I was just wondering what your reaction was when they first published that.
I mean, I was honored to be on the list with other records that I had fallen in love with too. And I think it's always, there's so many few things these days that validate. I don't know how much an artist should actually wrap themselves up in that validation. I don't know if that's great for you, but it is encouraging. Yeah. And I feel like their description of the album, more than anything, really aligned with what I was trying to say. So it felt nice that they understood what we were going for.
Yeah, they got it.
With the Laurel Canyon sound and just the messaging behind it. So you can put one thing out there and try and portray something, and then people can receive it in another way. So it was nice to feel affirmation that my intentions were at least being met.
Yeah, understood, and like I said, they got it, and that's very important too. One thing I was blown away by discovering this morning, getting ready for this, was that you have played the Grand Ole Opry 105 times. Does that ever get old? I mean, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's worth
Thanks, guys.
That's worth some applause. 105 times at the Grand Ole Opry. That's amazing.
It is. Yeah, it is. It really is amazing. And this music, sometimes when we are about to roll out, especially a new song from this record in front of the Opry crowd, we're like, good luck, everybody. How's this going to go over? And
Yeah. Playing Underestimate Me at the Opry is pretty fun.
yeah, but I have, Judd Fuller and Timothy Burkhead are part of this touring band and have been for years, and we all are lucky enough to get to play with that unit on stage. And I think what the Opry preserves, and they've been around for 100 years because of, is the fact that they're putting forward, that human music that is happening in Nashville.
Right.
And they're trying to evolve with the things that are happening in Nashville too, which means looking outside of just what's happening on country radio. And I feel like it's very familial when we go there. I think we feel welcomed and like we have a home there in this institution that's been around for a long time.
Yeah, and I applaud them for being open to the changing dynamics and sounds of popular music. I mean, yes, they originated with, the traditional country music sound, but that's what I've always loved about your music. It encompasses so many things. There's a little bit of rock, there's a little bit of soul, there's a little bit of country with a pop lean, all together at once. And I think that you do that well, and your talent shines through with you and your band providing that and putting that sound out there. And it's genreless, but I think that's a good thing because that just sort of wraps everything up for everyone to sort of interpret as they see fit and just escape the genre labels and just enjoy the music, right? That's kind of what it's all about, so.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still working on just getting that elevator pitch down, but once we get people to a show, I think we end up retaining those people. And that's why the live show with this band that I get to travel with is so important because we're able to kind of stretch together and cover all these different songs that have been produced in different ways.
Well, and speaking for myself, again, seeing you just earlier this summer, May 30th, at the Beachland Ballroom, your stage presence is phenomenal. It really commands the room. Your vocals just knock people out, and it's an incredible live show. And I recommend anyone go check it out tonight. The Big Summit Presents concert with Maggie Rose happening this
Y'all
evening.
coming?
July
Tonight?
25th, 2024 at Musica in Akron. Maggie Rose here for Studio C session, touring behind the new album No One Gets Out Alive, out now on Big Loud Records. Maggie Rose here for Studio C in a room full of Summit members with one more song. What do you have for us next?
I have to leave everyone with the title track of the album, No One Gets Out Alive. And it's about the finite amount of time that we have here. And we're so lucky that you guys took some of yours to spend with us. So thank you so much.
By the house, visit Rome, wear the dress that stops to show, don't you know? No one gets out alive. Call the boy, ask the girl, have no regrets when you leave this world, 'cause you know no one gets out alive. So stay a while here on the swing, let's pretend we'll always be together. There's no way that we could know when what you know. No one gets out alive.
So powerful. That was outstanding. Maggie Rose joining us here for another Wayside Furniture Blind & Son Studio C session for Summit members. And really looking forward to the Big Summit Presents concert tonight at Musica in Akron. Let's show her some love. That was so good. Maggie Rose, everyone. Thank you so much.